Hi, everyone. I hope you can all hear me. And this is a first for me. I do record on YouTube, but I've never done a live stream on YouTube. So it's taken me a wee bit just to figure it out in the background, but it's great to see the conversations going. It's been great to have some questions sent through, which are really in depth. And I think I didn't realize the past life conversation would be as in depth, but I'm hoping to steer you through a process of ways of looking at past lives and what that could be for you and how you can interpret that in your own life. If you do have any questions, then you can put them in the chat. It's great to see we've got people using the chat already. A big thank you to Angela, Marie, and Elish. So it's great. Hopefully Margaret is going to be joining us as well, and maybe some more. So we'll see what this event is like. And I'd love your feedback at the end of it. So I thought we'll start at the very beginning of the Akashic Records. I think it's something that people have an awareness of, but they're not quite sure what it is. And I think they get mixed up with karma and Akashic Record. So there's that sort of duality that goes on. People think they're the same. Are they the same? But actually, they're quite different. So I'm hoping to possibly help you sort of define that for yourselves and how that fits in with your thought processes. The word itself, Akashic, is a Sanskrit word. So it is a word from ancient times, and it means ether or sky. So it's just anything and everything. It's just out there. And one of the great ascension teachers, Madame Helena Blavatsky, I've done quite a bit of her work and translated it into my ascension course. So she was a great ascension teacher many moons ago, hundreds of years ago, and she brought forward the concept of soul, and she brought forward the concept of life after death. She described the Akashic Records as indestructible tablets of astral light, which I think is just fascinating that the tablet, the book, is of our book is out there, but it's made of astral light, it's made of ether, it's made of sky, it's made of energy. And I think that's something to think about when we think about Akashic Records, because we are very literal in our thinking. So we think of it as a record keeper, as a book, as a tome of some sort that everything is written down into. So that's how she described it, which I thought, as I said, I thought that was really lovely. In Buddhism, the Akashic Records, they don't describe it as an Akashic record. They describe it as a conscious continuum. So we have a physical form, and then we have an etheric form, the thin part, and then we have another physical form. So like a chain of sausages, if you will. We've got a part where we're not in physical form, then we're in physical form, then we're not in physical form, we're in physical form. And there's no break in that conscious continuum. Our soul, from the moment of our birth, has this continuum. And so everything in anything that we're doing is recorded. It has to be said that anything that has a breath, so all of the animals, all of the humans, anything that has a life force will have an Akashic record. And the Akashic record is our past, our present, and our future of everything that we have done on earth. So that is all of our thoughts, events, words, emotions, actions. And I think that's sometimes why people feel, oh, I've been here before. It's why the world goes through these cycles of events We're coming through a financial crisis. We come out of it. We come back through a financial crisis. We come out of it. It's all on a global, on the planet Earth's Akashic record. It will reside there. So we as individuals have an Akashic record of all of our thoughts, our actions, events, emotions, just everything. But it's different from karma. It's just a record. It's like a ticker tape of just everything that we're doing. Me sitting here talking to you, lovely people, is all going to be on the ticker tape. You guys typing everything up will all be on the ticker tape. So it's just everything that we're doing, all of our thoughts, our feelings are recorded. And it's our interaction with the planet Earth, with everyone and everything in it. So with our pets, with our plants, with our partnerships, with our family, with strangers, with people that we just say hello to on the street, that's all recorded. Everything's recorded. Going shopping, filling the gas in your car, all of that stuff. Just all of that interaction, our day-to-day existence is just recorded as a function of who we are, as a conscious being, I suppose, as a conscious being. So hopefully that's making sense. If you've got any questions on just that little bit, then please send them through. So when we look at Madame Blavatsky's description of indestructible tablets of astral light, life force, ether. So what is that? We talk about that in Reiki, where we're handing the universal energy into the body. We're opening up as a channel. Universal life force comes in, and through its own intelligence, it does what it needs to do. Sometimes it is described as an encoded vibration. So our Akashic record has a code, our DNA code, and that DNA code will be in existence. And it's the essence of who we are as a conscious being, be it in past lives, be it who we are right now, to who we could be if we decide to have a physical life form here on planet Earth. So it's that DNA code is indicative to who we are as conscious beings. My thought process around that is that through free will, we can change some of those personality traits. So we may have a DNA code that is indicative to who we are, that thread of light, if you will, the conscious continuum. But we have free will through each lifetime to become the best version of who we possibly can be. So if we have transgressed in a previous life, then we can, in the next life, make up for that transgression. But the transgression will always exist. It will always exist. So if you've caused harm to someone, if you have had a really physically challenging time, if you've been dirt poor or extremely wealthy, all of that will still exist in the Akashic record because that has been your soul journey at that point in time. And that's what you chose to experience. So that's the hard thing sometimes that people find difficulty to grasp. And again, they get mixed up with karma. I must have done something really bad in a past life because it's really difficult in this life. But I come back to free will. We have free will, which allows us to respond and to react to the situations, the deck of cards that we're given. And so we have to manage our responses in such a way that is beneficial for us. And sometimes we don't really realize what our actions are like at that point in time when we're at the thin end of the wedge and we're having to react really quickly. We don't really understand what that is going to have further down the line. But through free will, we have the opportunity to change. And I think that's something I want you to really think about with who you are right now. You are a conscious living being, and you can change your stars. You can create opportunities in your life that are beneficial, that will not only be good for you in the here and now, but you'll still have that beneficial changes as you move into the next life. So in Buddhism, we call that creating good auspices. So we want to do as much good in this lifetime in repairing ourselves, becoming really consciously aware of who we are, changing habits, changing how we react to things so that we have a better outcome as we move forward into our next life. I think as I reflect on my own life, I've had this really, I think, quite a bizarre life. I've always sort of maintained I've been really quite naive in terms of my interactions with people. I'm not a streetwise kind of person, but, I've just had this really strange existence with people. And it's been one of the huge lessons I've had to learn is how to relate to people in this lifetime through my naivety. However, if I was to reflect back to when I was 16 and, this huge family bust up, my mother was in a space where she was extremely, extremely angry. And it was 30 days to get out. My sister completely agreed. Let's get rid of her mum. She's got to go. And you would probably look at that at the age of 16 thinking, oh my goodness, how would you cope with that? What is the impact of that? And you might think, oh my gosh, I'm a really bad person. I think for myself, as my husband says to me quite often, so that's a challenge accepted moment, Phyllis. And that's exactly what it was. I didn't actually think about my mum and my sister. I just thought, well, where am I going? What am I going to be doing? And how am I going to get there? And so that was where my focus was. And so I was a nursery nurse teacher. So I became a nanny for two doctors in St. Andrews, 5 children in at the deep end. I was not much older than the oldest children, to be fair. And there I was in this place. Not only was I out of the house in 30 days, but I'd found a home, had a wage, had a family. And in reflection, that was the best thing that could ever have happened to me. Best thing ever. Went to this amazing family, and they showed me a different family dynamic. They showed me the world of art and theatre. I did a lot of volunteering work with disabled riding, guide dogs for the blind. I really went back to school, educated myself. It was a wonderful process. At the time, I was in the process, but in reflection, it was a wonderful process. So you have a process where, yes, we have this code that comes in our life. It's part of our DNA. But it's almost like the universe sometimes just throws the dice and go, well, let's give them this event and let's see how they're going to react. Because no doubt in a previous life or somewhere in your Akashic record, you will have come through something similar. So there's a knowledge and a wisdom already there that is somewhere deep inside you. For me, if I'm really challenged, I just rise to the challenge. That's who I am. I don't sort of fall at a challenge. I tend to just get to grips and I just move through the process. So that essence, that encoded vibration, the signature of who you are will always exist. I think one of the things which I'll just put in to the talk right now is when people come to me and they want to talk to a loved one who's passed over. Again, we're very literal and we're very visual. So for us, we totally expect to see an apparition of that person standing there. That's our expectation. And of course, television has a wonderful way of creating ghost-like energies, etc. But my belief in terms of my mediumship work, when I am going and doing a bit of mediumship for someone, I'm going into the Akashic Record, the vibration of that person. I understand, I can feel who they are, when they died, what they were like, personality, what they did enjoy, what they didn't enjoy, because it's all on that ticker tape. It's all on that Akashic Record. Their vibration will always exist. They're not in a physical form, they're in this vibrational form. And that record will never diminish. It will never go. It will always be there. And I think mediums, whether they have a conscious awareness of it or they want to admit to that, that's where we go, or that's definitely where I go when I'm accessing a person's loved one who has passed over. I'm taken to the Akashic Records. So it is a place that we can visit. The whole aspect of Akashic Records was certainly brought forward by Rudolf Steiner and Edgar Cayce, both of them in the 1920s, 1930s, sort of backed up Helena Blavatsky's work of the concept of soul. For them, for Rudolf Steiner and Edgar Cayce, they claimed to have accessed the Akashic Records for the Atlantis era of Earth's existence and the Lemurian era. So these are times where there was a certain type of human in existence here on planet Earth. And so that's, and there's lots of sort of writings from both of those two people. And of course, Rudolf Steiner and his education and his how he thinks about the world in that universal energetic space is very different to other educational processes. So there are people who've come out and said, yep, we can access the Akashic Record. Can we retrieve some of our lost and ancient wisdom and bring it forward to the present? You can observe your past lives. You can't change your past life. Whatever's in your past life is in your past life. The records cannot be altered. But what you can do is you can observe your past life, which is what we're going to do today in our meditation. And you can, at that point in time, request, when we go into our meditation, request what it is that you want to retrieve. So I want you to think about that right now. Think about the essence and the energies that you want to have in your life right now. Is it more forgiveness? Is it a deeper spiritual connection? Is it awareness of your next spiritual step? I want you to think about what you actively want to retrieve as we go into our past life. One of the things we can do is to send forgiveness. And in participating in forgiveness for ourselves, forgiveness for any deeds in the past, it will create a sort of a balance in that hopefully you won't have to go through similar events in a future life. So forgiving yourself in the present for anything that you may have done in the past is a really good thing to do. So that might be part of your meditation as well. You might want to include a little bit of that as we go in there. I know for myself, having started forgiveness work in my 30s, it's hard. It's hard. There are people out there that you just don't want to forgive. But there is a record of what their deeds were, and there's a record of what your deeds are. And so if you haven't always been the best version of yourself, if your behavior hasn't always been politically correct, then now's the time to think about, I need to forgive myself. And people who perpetrated anything that caused you pain, caused you harm, changed the direction of your life, then forgive them. I certainly have forgiven my mother and my sister at the time or just after that whole process. Or being told that's it, you've got 30 days to get out. You know, it took me until in my 30s to go, actually, that was a really great thing that happened in my life. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Mum and Louise. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because I wouldn't be the person I am today if that hadn't happened. And I think those are the wonderful reflections and opportunities that we get to keep creating the best version of who you are. So forgiveness work is really essential. There is someone that I've been following, and I will put some links on to the Opus Soul Community Hub page. I think I've already put some of his links on there, is Bert Goldman. And he takes you through a process, what's called quantum jumping, where you can observe your past lives. His take on it is that if you want to be a great writer, then go and visit, quantum jump to a past life in which you were a great writer. If you want to, I think one of the examples he talks about was when he was on the golf course and he wanted to do really well. So he quantum jumped to a past life where he was a golfer, so that when he played the first half, he played absolutely splendidly. He brought forward the skills on how to be a great golfer. So that's how he looks at it, but you can't change it. You can only observe it. A couple of the questions that have come through, I'm just going to get my piece of paper over, just so I know that what I'm saying. These are from a lady who is joined, and I've worked with this lady before, so I understand where she's coming from. Her question is, if you have regrets about decisions you have made in this lifetime, are they part of what you had to learn this lifetime from making those mistakes in the first place? So I've split, it's actually quite a big paragraph, so I've split it into a couple of little bits. Regrets. Okay, so regrets. Regrets is an emotion that is connected to events. Remember, every event is recorded where you might feel you have caused pain to someone. So regrets, I regret doing this, or I regret not being. I regret having said that. Nothing is a mistake. I think it's really good to sort of think about the word mistake, because we don't make mistakes. We just act in the moment. We might say, oh, I made a mistake there. But there will always be that butterfly effect. So whatever you have said, that butterfly effect is already cascading through. So whoever you've said it to, done, or whatever, they're already the recipient, and they're already dealing with their emotional responses to what you've just done. So you can't change anything that you regret, but you can learn from events where you feel you have possibly let other people down. So you need to change something within yourself where you would change your style or your approach to a very similar situation. So a regret, that emotion, is like a beacon that is telling you that you're not feeling good about a response to a particular event. The event would probably happen anyway. And it's not about making mistakes in the future. It is about how we respond the next time round. So it would stop us from making mistakes, I suppose. But whatever you regret is already, you've done it. So you can't reverse time and go back. So the decision that you've made, be it right or wrong, it doesn't matter. You've made the decision. You then live with the consequence of that decision. And if it has got an unexpected consequence that you are not happy with, then all you can say is, well, the next time I'm in that position, I'll respond differently and I'll do it this way. That's the lesson learned. She also goes on to ask, if the records also hold our future records, are our lives a done deal? So for her, it is, well, that's it. The book's already written. So that's how I'm translating this question. So the book's already written, and as she puts it, so if we're in a different body, a different set of circumstance or culture with no knowledge of our past lives, are we in the same place? Will we create the same dynamic or the same set of circumstances? It's the phrase, the done deal. And I think this is where the Akashic Records and the karma sort of kind of interlink on some level. Well, it's, I suppose, as a part to play. The Akashic Records is just that ticker tape of everything that we do. The cause and effect of everything that we do is also recorded, but it could be seen as karma. So when she's asking the question, is it a done deal? The book is written, but it isn't a done deal because we have free will. So as I'm talking about the word regret, and we do something that causes regret in us, then we then respond differently. So that changes the whole concept. So it will change the future plan because we've had a learning process there. So it's not a done deal. It will constantly change. With your free will, you have an opportunity to rise above the set of circumstances that you have been dealt and to create something that is far bigger or far better. So as I reflect back, leaving home at the time that I did was the best thing ever. My sister went off and got married. My mother then went off with whatever husband she had at that point in time. So I would have been homeless anyway. So that's the done deal. So I made the right decision at the right time and created a home. Then I met my partner, and then we created our own home. So the things that we do and through our free will to change our circumstances is always open to us. Nothing is a done deal. The record is there. Our encoded vibration exists. It will have a set soul purpose or soul process. And again, that's another dynamic that comes into the Akashic Records karma. And then we have the soul, the actual conscious continuum itself. So we have a soul purpose. But what is that soul purpose? We have to figure that out. And our soul purpose technically is always to become the best version of ourselves. The most modern way to see this in action is a lovely little show, which I adore. I've just watched it again on Netflix, and it's called The Good Place. Great cast, wonderful cast. Ted Danson is amazing. But it is about death, and it is about reincarnation, and it is about death and reincarnation. And you can see through the series of episodes, those individual souls becoming better and better until they become the best version of themselves. It's a really interesting little television show, 20, 25, 20-minute episodes that are explaining the concept of ascension, reincarnation, soul purpose, soul progression. They've done it beautifully. It's a very smart show. So if you want to dig deeper into the concept of karma and impact on soul, then that's a really modern, really easy thing either to listen to or just to watch. Because that is our soul purpose. That is the essence of that show, is to become the best version of who you are. So your free will has to come into play. Are you going to be suppressed or do you rise up? Do you live in a toxic relationship or do you leave that toxic relationship? Do you stay in a dead end job or do you get re-educated and you find something else? You have free will. It will all be recorded in your Akashic record. So you have to take control of your life. You can't sit and think, well, this is a done deal. So this is it. This is my lot. So this is all I'm going to be. This is all I'm going to have. You must assert and insert your personality, your soul into your life on every aspect that you possibly can, so that you are achieving the best processes possible, which in Buddhist terms is that we have a better existence. We've learned our lessons. We don't have to revisit those lessons. So we just get on with it. I think for me, corporate bullying is a huge thing. Bullying at home, then corporate bullying within some of my workplaces, just experienced a level of corporate bullying just recently. And it was interesting how I handled that really differently. And my responses to that person. And what I got from that, I really recognized that, man, I've come a long way and no, I'm not going to be bullied. So that's a soul progression. I often talk about my bad habits. So we've all got bad habits. None of us are living this life without bad habits. So as an area manager going from shop to shop to shop, I suddenly became aware of being a gossip. And that wasn't, it wasn't really a good vibration at all. It's a very dark vibration. It's a dense vibration. It holds you in that space. And actually, as a gossip, then other people are gossiping about you just as much as you're gossiping about other people. So I had to break that chain. And so when I became aware of that bad habit, I broke that chain. So hopefully in a future life, then that's not something I need to re-experience. So that's that whole karmic aspect. But the record itself is just continuing to put all of that progression down. It's recording. Phyllis now understands the concept of gossip. Phyllis understands what it's like to be homeless. Phyllis knows how to make a strategy to get her survival needs met. All of that is all recorded. I think with the Akashic Records, it's a place. I think we need to view it as a place where we can observe. So I'm back to Burt Goldman in his observational concept around the Akashic Records. Visiting a past life and thinking, oh yeah, I really want that skill. I want to learn how to do that skill. So I need to observe how to do that skill. Then coming back, retrieving the memories, and then applying them in this lifetime. Forgiving yourself, forgiving those around you is really key, I believe, so that in the next lifetime, you hopefully won't have to go through that process again, where you're in a place of pain and having to experience all of that. If you do the forgiveness work, then that in itself is you becoming a better version of yourself. So you have forgiven that person. You don't need to come back around again and go through it, because the universe is waiting for you to go through a forgiveness process. Is that part of your soul journey? To be forgiving? Is it to overcome gossiping? Is it to always have your survival needs met? A soul's journey, a soul's purpose is many things. It isn't just one giant, I want to be a movie star. It takes a lot to become a movie star. I want to be rich and famous. It's a whole journey to get to rich and famous. It isn't just suddenly you're rich and famous. There's 10, 15, 20 years in that process. And all of that is in our Akashic Record, this wonderful, wonderful space of learning, of recording that we can go back to look at and then apply in this lifetime. There's no gaps in your Akashic record. It is a continuous thread of light. So even for those people who take their life early or their lives are finished, what we might perceive as early, my father died when he was 27, that might be perceived as a young person to have gone, but no doubt he will have reincarnated on some level within our family circle and is living a full life as another entity, another conscious continuum. So it still exists, there's no gaps there. There's no empty chapters. The chapter is just never ending and is just continually being filled up. For those of you who are interested in the angelic realms, the angel in charge of the Akashic records, whose name has just simply gone out of my brain. Gosh, I had it a minute ago and he's gone. That's why I thought I'd mention it. There is an angel in charge of the Akashic records. I think it's Azrael. He is the person who sees souls in and out of conscious awareness, out of the conscious continuum, Azrael. So he is like a soul guardian. And then we have Archangel Sandalphon, who is in charge of the actual record keeping part. Both of these angels have been described in many old scriptures as the giants of the angelic realms, especially Archangel Azrael. Apparently he has 149,000 pairs of eyes and wings and 149,000 angelic energy helpers who are seeing the souls in and out, while Archangel Sandalphon, who holds the records, he is the person who is the right-hand side of God or source energy. So he's just this huge entity of light. Another angel, again, this is all of you just want to explore the whole concept of soul and Akashic records, etc., is Archangel Uriel, and he is the fire of God. And he is said to have a sort of a sacred space. All archangels have a sacred space on earth, and his is in Poland. It's in the Tatra Mountains, and he is the keeper of your contracts. So he holds your soul contracts. Your contracts, part of your soul journey. It's what are you going to be going through when we actually then come into a physical form. So again, we can look at those contracts. We can change the contracts as we go forward through learning and adapting and healing and becoming more spiritually and soul aware. Again, it's all about becoming the best version of who you are. So ascension work is a huge topic with many different sort of facets to it. Akashic record is the simplest aspect. It is simply an ongoing, never-ending record of everything that we do. It's the simplest aspect. It's when we then bring in soul contracts and our karma that it becomes, that our life, our physical life becomes more complex. But actually the Akashic record is just the same. Yeah, it's just a process. So how is that for you guys? Are there any questions you want to type into the box? Anything you want to ask before we go into our meditation? Or any experiences, actually. Anything you think, I've had this happen, or why does this keep repeating? All that sort of stuff. Just ask away. No, are we quite happy? Cool. Okay. So what I think we'll do is we'll go into our meditation. So I want you to really think about what you want to look at. So if we're going to be looking at our Akashic Record, our past lives, I want you to think about what would you like to bring back? Is it even just a capacity for self-love and forgiveness? Is it a capacity for confidence or crisis management or the capacity for finding joy? Whatever it is, whether it's you want to learn how to golf or you want to learn how to have a joyful life, I want you to think about those concepts. We're going to go into our journey. So just be really aware that you are feeling. You just be really aware of what it is that you're feeling right now, and just take note of your body, because we could have stirred up a thought process within you just through this little conversation. So I want you we're going to, as we relax into the meditation, just feel through your body, so that if you need to let go of anything in this lifetime, then we're going to do that as well. So just when you're ready, just taking just some time just to close your eyes. Make sure you're feeling really comfortable, and make sure you are, just taking note of your body. So just closing your eyes and just taking a breath in. I want you just to focus on your actual physical body, just taking note of your chest, your arms. How do they feel? Being aware of any emotions that have popped up or stirred. Taking your awareness down through your torso into your base center. How does it feel? Down into your legs, your feet. Just bringing that awareness, feeling your way through your body. And I'd like you to take a lovely breath in. This time, as you breathe in, we're going to bring in the color gold. So breathing in, that beautiful golden color, breathing out, that golden energy. With every breath you take, that golden light is going to cascade through every aspect of your body. Just moving from your lungs into your chest and your thoracic area. Every breath you take, that golden light is moving effortlessly through your abdomen, through your limbs, breathing in, breathing out. That golden light moving into the back of your mind. Just relaxing your body. You're going to say to yourself every day and every way, I become more relaxed. Every way and every day, I'm relaxing deeper and deeper and deeper, feeling your body becoming heavier. And any thoughts and external thoughts and disruptions just passing you by. Every day and every way, my body is becoming more and more relaxed. And that wonderful golden light that is cascading and pouring, coursing through your body, is just relaxing your muscles, slowing your breath, making you feel heavy. The golden light will extend from your feet into the earth below, just creating deep roots down into the earth, going deeper and deeper, going down, down, down. Taking a breath in, breathing out. And that wonderful connection to earth feels familiar, feels solid. You feel a sense of groundedness. And you're going to send a beam of golden light from your crown up into the heavens above, going up, up, up. Up into the heavens above, connecting to Father Sky. Taking your conscious awareness out into the astral planes. And we're going to set the intention of experiencing a wonderful Akashic journey. We're going to call upon your angels and your guides. We talked about the angels. Archangel Sandalphon in particular. And you are fully enclosed now in a wonderful, protective, golden ray of light. When you're ready, I'd like you to imagine in your mind's eye that you are on a platform, a train station platform. If you feel you need to cross the overpass to another track, then please do so now. But there are people there are trains coming and going, and your task is to get to the right platform. Ask Archangel Sandalphon to help you find the right platform. As you're gently guided to a safe space, a train will pull up in front of you. And just look at the train. How does it look to you? What color is the train? Is it a modern train? Is it a train of a certain period? But you embark onto the train in safety. And in the interior of the train, you can see there are seats, all empty, and above the seats, there is a luggage rack, which is filled with your books, your Akashic records. And you're being guided to collect a book from the luggage rack and place it on a table and sit in a chair. And the train is going to start to move softly and gently. You are completely safe on your soul train. This is your special train in which your other lives have existed. And this vehicle, this spiritual vehicle, is going to take you to a viewing point so that you can view the Akashic record that you have chosen. Whilst the train is in motion, think about your intention. And your intention is to retrieve wisdom that you can apply in this lifetime. Your intention may be to forgive the people of the past so that you can heal your future. Or your intention may simply be to observe an aspect of your life, viewing who you were, what you said, and what you did. Your soul train is gliding through the universe effortlessly, and it will soon terminate at a junction where you can view the past life that you have chosen. Archangel Sandalphon is going to gently guide you from the train as you disembark. You may find yourself simply viewing at a distance a physical form that has the same vibration as you. and you're watching them participate in their life, doing their tasks, their job. You're watching them at a safe distance, observing. I'm going to leave you for 5 minutes to observe this past life through the lens of the Akashic book that you have chosen. Remember to set the intent to remember what you've seen so you can retrieve the information when we wake. I'll leave you now with Archangel Sandalphon. In looking at your reflection of yourself, what have you gained from your observations? Who have you been observing? Did they feel familiar to you? Now is the time to remember what you have witnessed today. As we return to our soul train, returning back to the cabin and placing your Akashic record for that lifetime back into the luggage rack above your seat. Archangel Sandalphon is with you, and you can ask him any questions with regards to the journey that you've just witnessed. He may give you a symbol or a token that will help remind you of what you've witnessed. And he will be with you as you move forward for the rest of today as a guide to help you integrate the wisdom that you have been seeking and how to apply it into your present day life. Your soul train is journeying from the astral planes, and it's heading back to this earthly plane, but in doing so, Archangel Sandalphon is going to enclose you in his cloak of healing energy to give you a healing. This is a time for you to let go of your regrets, your pain, your sorrow, your grief. And he will do that now. And as you look around your soul train compartment, you may find that there are other versions of yourself sitting in the seats. They feel familiar, even though they may look different. And you can say hello, and you can converse. And you can create a connection with these aspects of yourself. As you continue your journey, the soul train is coming closer and closer back to its destination. And as the soul train pulls into the station, as you take your leave from the compartment, the train compartment, you can take one last look around the compartment just to see those faces, those past lives, the journey that you've had together. And as you step onto the platform, we're going to bring our energy back into our body. So we're going to take a breath in, breathing out. Just bringing our awareness, our thoughts, our memories into this lifetime. Pulling the golden ray of light down from the heavens above and pulling the golden ray of light up from the earth below, bringing the energy into our body, pulling in our auric field, breathing in, breathing out. Just becoming aware of our physical presence, feeling our limbs, our breath, moving our head, just getting that energy going. And when you're ready, just opening your eyes once more, bringing your awareness fully into your spiritual meditation space. So how was that? Hopefully that was an education. Hopefully it was a good experience. If you want to share your experiences, you can put that in the chat there. I think for myself, my soul train was green, and it was certainly from the 1920s, 1930s sort of era. I used to travel a lot on a train as a young girl because my grandfather was a train driver. So I have very fond memories of being on trains. But my book was also cream, which was interesting. So I don't know what that means, but I'll go and I'll sit and I'll ponder on that and think about, what that reflection was that I was looking for and looking at. So I hope you have enjoyed today. Lots to think about, lots to ponder in terms of the Akashic Records and the differences between Akashic Record karma and soul journey. It's a vast topic. Ascension is a vast topic. If you're really interested, then by all means, you can pop onto the Ascension course, the video course, and you'll hear me talk about Madame Blavatsky and the trials and tribulations, the attunements that we go through in our soul life and what that means for us. It's quite a dynamic thing, being a person. It's not easy. It isn't easy. So until the next time, I want to thank you for attending. I'd love your feedback. If this is much easier than a Zoom link, then let me know. It certainly feels a bit easier from my perspective. I hope to see you next month where I'll do another live session on YouTube. Thank you, Ailish. That's beautiful. Thanks for your comments. We'll see what the topic is for next week, next month. But until the next time, be really kind to yourselves, be good to yourselves, and take care of yourselves. And keep me posted. You can reach out at any time. It's always wonderful to hear from you. Until the next time, bye for now.